What do you think, Andrew?
What are social media platforms trying to do to our brains? And answer that question before I say what I'm going to say. But what do you think they are attempting to do with social media? And I think different ones might be trying to do different things.
Yeah.
But what do you think social media platforms are primarily and objectively trying to achieve?
I think it started with seeing how people react to it. For example, putting feelers out there, having people test it out, see how they get, how much hours they've been on app, what they're looking for.
They're trying to get you to use it as much as possible.
Yes.
To numb us, to shorten our attention spans, and to give us unrealistic expectations of life.
Do people even know why they're on social media?
Dude, there's a lot of people that don't know why. They can't even explain to you why. They can't even explain to you why. Like, they'll be scrolling and they can't explain to you why they're scrolling, right? Like we're in a privileged situation where, like, this is our job. It is what it is. We're on social media. But I've told the people this before, but I'll say it again. Before I did this shit, I only had like 800 followers on Instagram or whatever, and I didn't give a fuck. My shit was private. I didn't share none of my stuff. I was too busy chasing after criminals. Like, I was not on fucking social media. I never checked my Facebook, was rarely on Instagram, didn't even like think about DMing girls or whatever. I was just like approaching girls in real life and shit. So it was like, it's a whole thing. But like, there's people that literally, they live for social media and they can't explain to you why they scroll. I'll tell you why, yeah. It's crazy, man. But I would say this to answer your question, Andrew. I think social media is there to keep you on the app as long as possible so they can sell you ads and they can make money from showing you ads. I think that's like the basic premise. That's like all the algorithms, basically, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, etc. They're all based on watch time, based on you being on the app as long as possible. And they know the longer they keep you on the app, the more they can show you ads, and that's how they make money. But the detriment from that is we're making people stupider, making people less social, making people less socially calibrated, more awkward, etc. And I like, if you look at an app like Rumble, right? Like, of course there's ads on Rumble, etc. But their mission is, free speech is important. Let's make sure that people are able to hear people that got something to say that might be censored by other platforms, right? Some other platforms are more interested in making as much money as possible, like YouTube, etc. Let's just run ads on people as much as we can and, profit. But I think every social media app's goal is to keep you on the app as much as possible. Like, that's their bottom line. But some people have also an auxiliary benefit to
I
that.
think there's a more sinister act being done here, which is data capture and data collection.
Oh yeah, good point.
I think
yeah,
most platforms nowadays, yes, it was first intentionally to make money, but then they see how much people use it, how much they're addicted to the process, and as a result, is, you know what, I can get information about you, but you're giving it to me willingly. I don't have to beg you for it. Social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, give me your info. Now they have it on you. Now they see what you post, what you're about. Not gonna put you in a box. Oh, you vote for Trump? I'll put you in this box. You're about Biden? Put you in this box.
Why don't you tell us, Andrew, exactly what you had in mind?
What do you think?
Because I think that between us three, we've covered some of these points. But tell us.
Yeah, I think we're basically almost there. I think we can all agree that social media is basically running the world now. That's where you get your information. It's how you interact with most people. It's how you get the most validation as a human. It's how you feel the most respected and the most liked. And it's how you feel that your voice is heard. And social media is extremely important. And for a social media platform to survive, it has to make money. And it makes money off the back of the data it collects, just like you said, Walt. They collect as much data as possible so they can find a way to monetize you. And like you talked about them putting you in boxes, what they do is they get a blueprint of you, or they make a digital version of you, and they take all that information. And there's a digital version of Andrew Tate, what he likes to look at, which is why my For You page shows certain things.
Yep.
What's most likely to keep me on the app for longest? What's most likely to make me respond? Which type of ad is most likely to make me buy? And they're building a pattern of me so they can understand me, so they can monetize my information and make as much money as possible. Once you understand that, then you have to come to the next logical conclusion, which is, if they are trying their very best to gain as much information about me as possible and build a digital version of me so they can understand my patterns, the natural extension logically is that they are trying to alter my patterns. Why would they try and get all the information about me to work out how valuable I am if I do X, Y, and Z without trying to test, well, instead of doing X, Y, and Z, let's do Z, Y, and X and see if we can make an extra dollar out of this man. They are trying to brainwash you in real time, which goes exactly back to what Marcel said. People are on socials. They don't know why. They've been trained like dogs to just scroll. And if they feel any kind of discomfort in their life, any kind of sadness, if they're bored, they just scroll on their phone. They don't sit down and think about it. They don't introspect. They don't reflect. They don't look for the feedback and the lesson in it. They ignore all of it. They walk through life and don't even see the demons, my friend, because they're so busy trying to pay attention to a TikTok For You page or checking how many likes they got. So you have to understand, not only are they building a profile of you, a digital version of you, so they can work out and try to predict your behavior, because that's how they'll make their money. They are then trying to influence and deliberately change your behavior.
Yep.
And I would argue the reason TikTok was so massively successful is what TikTok did fantastically was so severely damage the attention span of the human race that other social medias are barely usable because they are slow and boring. Watch someone on TikTok, bro. What? They give a video a third of a second at most to instantly capture their attention. How are you ever going to pay attention and do something difficult or dedicate yourself to something boring or go to the gym and punch a punch bag for hours a day every single day when you have TikTok mind? They're trying to brainwash you, and they've already been extremely successful. So as a professional, you have to sit and say, next time you're on social media, what are they trying to do to me here? What are they trying to teach me here? What am I trying? What are they gaining from this? How are they trying to influence? I'll give you a very simple example of it. The reason the information doesn't automatically refresh, and the reason you have to pull down with your thumb to refresh the feed, is because that's a motor trigger. That's a physical trigger. I move my thumb, I get information in my brain. I move my thumb, I get information in my brain. Same with like a monkey. I press the button, I get a banana. I press the button, I get a banana. You're being trained in real time, and they're doing it to dumb you down and get you addicted to these applications. That's absolutely true. And then you have to understand, once you're fully, truly addicted, and I don't think our generation ever will be, but our grandchildren will certainly not be able to exist without these things. What are they going to do with them? How are they going to alter reality and information and dating and relationships, your interactions with your family, your interactions with your friends, your interactions with your kids? We're heading to a fairly dystopian world. And I guess we talked about suffering and how you need to be a man who can do difficult things. I don't think most men can even go a day without their phone. I was in jail, and for the first week, I kept reaching for my pocket. I'm in a jail cell, like trying to find my phone. I don't have a phone. It's crazy how addicted we all are. And when you understand that they're trying to alter the way you think and move and act, it becomes far more scary than you just being bored and needing entertainment.